Number one, you got to embrace seasonal work. You see, instead of committing to a full-time job year-round, I want you to explore different opportunities for seasonal employment. And this approach allows you to maximize your earning potential without sacrificing your freedom. Because here's the truth, as an entrepreneur, you will have the flexibility to set your own schedule, pursue your vision, and reap the benefits of your hard work. But entrepreneurship is an amazing, I wouldn't change it for the world. I don't want to die without hitting my max potential. I don't want to die working 70 hours a week. I don't want to die and I couldn't take my family on a trip. And 80% of the people who are watching me right now do not have it. In today's fast-paced world, the traditional 40-hour work week may not be the only path to financial success. I want to say it from the very, very beginning. You see, many individuals are finding innovative ways to build wealth without being tethered to a desk for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 365 days a year. Whether you're looking to supplement your income or break free from the confines of conventional employment, which I think a lot of us are, I want to give you 5 strategies to consider on your journey to financial freedom. When I think about these 5 strategies, it really comes from my company. I know that my team, myself, I don't want to work 5 days a week. I don't want to work every single day. Heck, I want to take off, as much time as I need so that way I could be effective on my job. So instead of me just doing that, I provide the same thing for my team members because I want them to understand you do not have to work 5 days a week to build wealth. But before we get into these 5 strategies, these 5 great ideas that I think that will tremendously help you, to really help you look into these things from a different perspective to help you get to where you want to go, I want to remind you that we are a community here, y'all, and 70% of you all who are watching me right now are not subscribed. You're not subscribed. If you're watching and or listening on via podcast, you're not subscribed. Y'all, listen, we've made some amazing numbers over there in the podcast world, audio world, to where we are now in the top 200 podcasts in the world. Amazing in our category. And we are almost at 800,000 subscribers, 200,000 away from 1 million on YouTube. And I would love for you to be a part of the E3 community. Can you do me a quick favor? Can you stop dating us here at the table? And can you hit that subscribe button, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on podcasts, and hit that thumbs up so that we could be a family. I want you to join the E3 community. The E3 community is a community that we're all focused on just really 3 things. We want to expand/increase in abundance, wellness, and freedom. I want to help you take back control of your life. And we have 1 million+ people throughout all of our platforms who are thinking the same way. Anthony, why should I subscribe? And I can just come here and look at your channel whenever I want. Well, it's not just that, but you'll be connected to other people who are like-minded with you when we have conferences, when we have conference calls, when we have special gatherings. You have first opportunities to get inside of this because of your association within the community. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and join this family. Here's a very first thing that I really want to bring to your attention that will help you not work. 365 days a year, 40-hour work weeks. Number one, you got to embrace seasonal work. You see, instead of committing to a full-time job year-round, I want you to explore different opportunities for seasonal employment. Industries like your tourism, agriculture, and retail often experience fluctuations in demand throughout the year, creating opportunities for temporary positions. You see, by leveraging seasonal work, you can earn income during your peak seasons while enjoying flexibility during slow periods. Prime example of that is FedEx, your delivering companies right around the holidays. The best time you can work from, right around October till the end of December, man, they are hiring and paying like crazy. One of my guys worked for FedEx and he was making almost $50 an hour just from delivering for FedEx and was getting time and a half. to where he was making 6 figures a year just for throughout those 4 months. So he would work those 4 months and then take off to the rest of the year because he would, again, practice what I preach, live below his means, have his numbers tracked, and he's definitely taking care of himself and his priorities. Another industry is the traveling RN industry, the nursing industry. I have nurse friends who are working maybe 2-3 months on, and then they'll take off a month and a half. They'll go get their RN license. They'll be a contractor within this particular field, and they'll work, a month, 2 months, 3 months. They'll work 2-3 days out the week, and it won't go back. And here's what I learned even with this particular industry, is that you don't have a job per se. You tell the hospital, you tell the particular hospital that you're going to when you want to come in. Hey, I can work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You pay contract. Now, here's a downfall about these things. Not really a downfall if you're doing it correctly, because you're a 1099 employee, which means you can write it off, is that you can get paid the gross pay. So you're going to be held responsible for the taxes, right? And so if you really want to do this, it is absolutely amazing. And this approach allows you to maximize your earning potential without sacrificing your freedom. And I do believe that we're better workers. We accomplish the job better when we have freedom. When we have freedom to enjoy the things that we want to enjoy. Even with my team, I see them, they work better. When they show up, they're dialed in, they're focused. But then when they're off and they know the only time they're gonna see my number come across their screen is if it is something that I have to have right now, they have no problem picking up the phone, right? We have an amazing team here. But they also know for the most part, they're gonna get that time to enjoy themselves and to do whatever they wanna do. And so if you can take this approach of finding seasonal jobs and situations, seasonal jobs, prime example, not in the summer months, in the winter months, that's the best time for you to do Uber. That's the best time for you to even do Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, grocery deliveries, because nobody really wants to go outside in the snow, in a 30-degree weather. So that's seasonal work where you can pick up some extra money, a lot of money, to do the things that people do not want to do and make money. Ooh, this is good right here. So when they have to go to work, you get to stay home because you were willing to do things during a certain season that they were not willing to do. So if you can pick up seasonal opportunities and bust your butt during that season, it will create you certain freedom. Now, before I go on to the next one, this means that you will have to be working your butt though. This is not, hey, I'm going to work 2 or 3 days during this season. No, you may have to work 7 days a week during this season. But if you're putting in 3 months worth of work, 4 months worth of work, you got 6 months to enjoy. I don't see a problem with that at all. But again, they got to be willing to look at it. Here's number 2. Pursue entrepreneurship. You see, and I'm very lenient with how I say this, because I think a lot of people hear the word entrepreneurship. I'm about to be an entrepreneur and don't have to work. I want to be real with you. That's not the case for entrepreneurship. Building your own business can and will be a powerful avenue for wealth creation for you and your family. But it's going to take time, dedication, and some sacrifices. Whether you're passionate about crafting homemade products, offering freelance services, developing innovative technology solutions, getting into the contracting field, consulting field, getting into the content creation field, here's the truth. Entrepreneurship will empower you. It will empower you to capitalize on your skills and interests. Launching a business may require initial investments though. Initial investment, not just financial investment, but time investment, resource investment, and hard work. However, the potential for a long-term financial reward is tremendous. I will be honest. I always tell people that if you are going to pursue the entrepreneurship space, one, pray on it. I need you to really, 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 and I mean this, I want you to hear me clearly, hear me clearly and dive in closely. Entrepreneurship, yes, does deliver a lot of money, because as an entrepreneur, you get to see all of the money, and the government is trusting you to file taxes at the end of the year. And what I see with these particular individuals, especially in the Gen Z world, they do not pay taxes. They do not set money aside to pay taxes. And then they come up screwed when they're in their mid-30s and they're being audited by the IRS. Their credit report is all jacked up. Bank accounts are frozen because they didn't do it right. I believe everybody should have an entrepreneurial spirit, but not everyone is called to be an entrepreneur. I believe that the tax codes were written for entrepreneurs and for real estate owners. But if you're going to jump into the entrepreneurship space, you got to be willing to go through hell. You have to be willing to deal with things that you will never have to deal with being a 9-to-5 employee. I believe that everyone should be and should have an entrepreneur spirit. What do I mean by having an entrepreneur spirit? This is what I mean. That you have a job, but when you go to that job, if your job is to be X, I want you to be the business owner of that X. This is your business within inside of this company. You own that thing within the company. Then when you come home, you take off that head and you put on your family's head. What is it that you need to do as an entrepreneur for you and your family? Because here's the truth, as an entrepreneur, you will have the flexibility to set your own schedule, pursue your vision, and reap the benefits of your hard work. But also, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of some of your team members who slack, some of your team members who make a mistake. You will also have to deal with if an issue comes up, if you can't make payroll, if something happens, you are more accessible to lawsuits. You are more accessible to people quitting on you. You're more accessible of you having to fire people. Like there's so much weight that comes with entrepreneurship, that while there's so many great things, there are so many things that contribute to the success, good and or bad, of your company. And so while we're trying not to work 40-hour work weeks, man, I still encourage you to tread lightly into the entrepreneurship space. Because while everyone sells the highlights, I can't sell you the highlights without telling you the truth. There will be days you feel like crying. There will be days you feel like quitting. 60% of businesses fail within the first within the first 12 to 18 months of the business. Why? It's because, one, I hate to say it, I don't want to be offensive to anybody, because you weren't good team members. That's why. You didn't know how to be a good employee, so how can you be a good employer? Number two, you didn't go into it with the right strategy. You didn't sit down with someone and learn the strategy before launching the space. No, I want to be my own boss. I'm tired of reporting people. Cool, great. Did you learn anything? But if you were a great teammate If you learned a lot, you were a great employee, you showed up on time, you put in the hard work, you did things without them having to ask you a million times to do things. If you went around and you started learning from people and asking questions and you were a student and you submitted yourself to someone wiser and greater in the field that you want to get into, and you've learned a lot, I still want you to go ahead and step out there into the entrepreneurship space. Why? Because you've studied and proven yourself that you can handle this, but be prepared that you can study all you want, but the best way to practice is getting into the field. But entrepreneurship is an amazing, I wouldn't change it for the world where I'm at right now. You know why? Because I do have flexibility. I cannot work in the morning time, but then work at night. And I've done that. I've decided to go play golf or go in a golf tournament with friends. And then when we get done, while they're going to sleep, I'm up working on things at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock at night, because that's what I chose to. I have that flexibility. I am blessed to where I do make great money within my business because of that. And what I love about making great money, watch this, is that when you make a lot of money, you need to have a real good checking account. A good checking account with like no fees, a good checking account with no surprise fees. I've already said that, but you need a good checking account too that'll pay you 2 days earlier. You need a great checking account that you can trust. And that's why I want to thank today's sponsor of today's show, Chime. Check that as a quick commercial. With summer here, our routine changes and so does our spending habits. Whether it's vacation, outdoor events, concerts, you name it, or even just enjoying the nice weather, it's easy to find ourselves spending a bit more during this season. But summer doesn't have to mean financial stress. In fact, it's a great time to really take advantage of this time. Here's some amazing things my friends over at Chime are offering right now. If you get their checking account, you're going to get an early payday. You'll get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Check this out, ATM access. Now, this is not your regular ATM access. This is you utilizing over 60,000 free ATMs, more than the top 3 national banks combined, and these are all easily located inside the Chime app. You can send and receive money. With Chime, you can send money to anyone, anywhere, Chime users or not, and withdraw your cash without any fees. Listen, I need you to go over and check out my friends at chime.com/TTAO today. Open you up a checking account, and I promise you will thank me later. Again, that's chime.com/TTAO. All right, let's get back to today's show. So check out my friends over there at Chime, and I promise you'll thank me later on. All right, let's get into number 3. I want you to prioritize budgeting. You see, listen, the reason why some of us have to work, watch this, not even 60-hour work, not even just 40-hour work weeks, but 50-hour work weeks, 60-hour work weeks, sometimes 70-hour work weeks, is because we're not budgeting. No matter how much you earn, effective budgeting is essential for financial success. The reason why people in their 80s are still having to work as hard as they're working right now is because when they were in their 20s and their 30s, they didn't have a vision for their money. They weren't budgeting their money. They were spending every single thing that they got in. And I want to tell you right now that if you want to stop working 40-hour work weeks, you got to take time to track your income and expenses and identify areas where you can cut costs and allocate your resources wisely. This is something that I've really been doing myself at 40 years old, at the financial success I've been blessed to be at this current season of my life. You see, by living within your means and avoiding unnecessary expenses, you can free up more money for savings, not just for savings, but also for investments. And when you're investing, this is allocating to your freedom account, which is your wealth building activities. Remember that small changes inside of your spending habits can and will have a significant impact on your financial future. If you're not focused on the vision and the budget for your money, you're not focused on your future. You want to go from 40-hour work weeks, maybe down to 30 hours, maybe to 20 hours. You want to go from maybe working 12 hours a month. I mean, not 12 hours a month, 12 months out of the year to maybe only working 7 or 8 months out of the year. It really starts with your budgeting. Because if you are living below your means, if you're buying a home, not at your max capacity, but below your capacity, you have some margin. Remember, wealth is not determined by how much money you have coming in. Wealth is built by margin from income and expenses. If your income is here, but your expenses are down here, this room gives us the difference of how we can build wealth. And when we can build wealth, we can buy back our time. When we're buying back our time, we're not working 40-hour work weeks. We're not working 12 months out of the year. We're not working 365 days out of the year because we've built margin. And the end goal for Anthony ONeal is to make enough money that I can buy back more of my time. And what I do with that time is I enjoy it. And I'm pausing right here because I want to go into number 4. And I want to live right here for a little bit of time. Like I really do. I want you all to invest wisely. If you want to start working 40-hour work week, you have to get to a point to where you're investing wisely. Investing is the key component of wealth building. If you're not allowing your money to grow over time through compound returns, you're going to always be working 40, 50, 60-hour work weeks. Always. If your money is not making you more money, you are going to stay where you are. And I promise you, you'll probably be in a worse situation. Whether you're investing into the stock market, real estate, mutual funds, or other assets, it's essential to approaching investment decisions thoughtfully and strategically. I want you to consider seeking guidance from a financial professional, educating yourself through books, listening to podcasts like mine, Earn Your Leisure, Dave Ramsey, Tiffany Budget Ninsta, and getting into some online resources and learning what can you do to best diversify your investment portfolio and how you can stay disciplined in your approach so that you can position yourself and your family for long-term financial growth and stability. Why is this so important to me? Let me tell you why. Some of us believe we have time. Oh, I'm young, I got time. I could do this today and I'll make some more money tomorrow. And I could buy this today and I'll invest next month. Listen, man, I've had friends drop dead in their homes in their 40s. I've had friends go to sleep in their 30s and don't wake up. I've watched people in my family and close to my family retire at 70, had to go back to work at 72. It was a late night and I was coming back home. I don't normally eat McDonald's, but I needed something on my stomach. So I said, let me just get a side order of fries and ginger ale to drink. And so I stopped at McDonald's. It was like at 12, 1 o'clock at night. And when I pulled into the late night, drive through, an elderly lady handed me my fries. I said, hey, I got a question for you, ma'am. I mean, how old are you? If mommy asking. She was like, baby, I'm 83. And it bothered me that at 83 years old, an elderly lady at midnight has to be working at McDonald's so that she could live. I didn't ask her any questions, and I don't know her situation, but daggone it, I don't want that to be my mother. I don't want that to be my wife. I don't want that to be my daughter. I don't want that to be none of my friends. I don't want that to be you. But we're going to continue to make 40-hour and work 40-hour work weeks, 50-hour work weeks. And let's be honest, in today's society, people are working 50, 60, 70, sometimes 80-hour work weeks. I have friends who are working full-time jobs, getting off and going to work another full-time job. And when I look at their situation, it's not really because they don't have the money. It's because, and I hate to say it, they're not listening to what I'm teaching. They don't want to make the sacrifice and get rid of that $500 car note. They don't want to make the sacrifice and maybe go get, someone to live in a room or rent out the room. They don't want to make the sacrifice of not having the nice name brand things. So instead, they want to go and double up on work time, double up on no freedom time, rather than making sacrifices for a year, 2 years, 3 years, so that this way they can have freedom. I don't know when God is going to call me home. I don't know. God knows that I pray that it's no time soon. But if he does, I want to be in a place where I at least did what he asked me to do and I enjoyed some of my time. I don't want to die working a Hebrew slave. I don't want to get to 65, 70 years old and I only can retire for 1 year because I didn't make the right decisions when I was 20, when I was 30, when I was 40, because I wanted to be this entrepreneur and not work for the white man and not work for no man, because I didn't have the discipline and maturity to submit myself to other people, because I didn't have the maturity and wisdom to sit here and invest and to tell other people no or tell myself no and invest into the mutual fund. I don't want to die without hitting my max potential. I don't want to die working 70 hours a week. I don't want to die and I couldn't take my family on a trip. I don't want to die owing the IRS. I don't want to die and leave my family with stress. I don't want to get 55 and I still have to work 40 hours, 50 hours a week. I don't want to get to that point because I refuse to get a plan, a strategy, and work the plan and strategy. And 80% of the people who are watching me right now do not have a strategy for their money. You don't have a budget. You don't have a proven strategy. You don't have a vision. You don't know what you're doing, but you know the woman you want to holler at. You know the guy who you want to holler at you. You know about all the other crap going on in J. Cole and that beef. You know everything about Cat Williams. We know everything that's going on with Diddy. We can even tell Diddy what he should have done, but we do not have a proven plan for us that we're following. Woo! This is why I partner with this company called Domain Money. You can go to anthonyoneal.com. Click on the word, click on get a CFP plan. We'll put the link inside the show notes. This is why I partner with them, because a lot of y'all have been asking me, Anthony, how do I get a certified financial plan? How do I meet with a certified financial advisor? And I was looking, and I didn't want to, say certain things and do certain things without having the right information. But I was looking because I really wanted to make sure that I partnered with the right company that I know can help you. And I partnered with this company to where they will give you a plan. Listen to me clearly. They will give you a plan that if you follow this plan, you will not have to work 40 hours a week for the rest of your life. If you follow this plan for the next 10 years, you will not have to work 40 hours a week after 10 years. But the question is, are you willing to make the investment into the plan? And are you willing to follow the proven plan? And I don't know about y'all. I'm willing to follow the plan that I have for my life. Because I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. And as I'm thinking about, these 4 things on how we can avoid working 40 hours a week for the rest of our lives, I want to give you this bonus tip that I think is very, very important. And I just feel called to say this. We're living in a world that wants shortcuts. I want to make $1 million in one day. I want to make $1 million overnight. I want this quickly. We're living in this microwave generation. While the temptation to seek quick fixes or get rich overnight quick schemes may be enticing, it's essential to approach wealth building with patience, diligence, and integrity. Integrity. I was recently offered $60,000 to have someone on my show. And when I started asking about, what do you do? What are you offering? It was like, hey man, we'll pay you an affiliate pay. And what we'll do is we'll just pay you up front for what we think you'll bring in. And here's the truth, guys. A lot of my stuff are affiliates. That's how we're able to pay bills around here. It doesn't cost you anything more, but if the product, let's say, is $10 and they're going to give me $2 of that $10 sale, it doesn't go up for you. That's just the nature of the game. But I got to make sure that I trust the people who come. And while making $60,000 quick in a 45-minute show, I was like, no, that doesn't seem right to me. What you're offering doesn't seem like it will benefit and bless the people. And I don't even feel good about that. So I've learned to avoid falling for these quick money things. And I want you to avoid falling for schemes that promise you overnight success or guaranteed returns with very minimum effort. Instead, I want you to focus on developing sound financial habits that I teach here at the table, making informed decisions through prayer and wise counsel, and staying committed to your vision. If it doesn't align with your vision, it doesn't belong inside of your life. And as I close this show, I want you to remember this. Wealth is built steadily, brick by brick, through consistent effort and prudent financial management. And the best way to illustrate that is, I'm a smoker when it comes to my food. I don't like my food going in the microwave. I don't really like cooking my meats on the stove, but I love throwing it inside of the smoker. Do you know why? Because when it's cooked long term, it maintains its flavor and its juice. And what I feel that a lot of us are right now is you don't even know that God has you seasoned. He just hasn't thrown you inside the smoker yet. And you're like, God, I want the money, but God is saying, I'm still seasoning you. I'm still putting, salt and pepper. I'm still putting some vinegar. I'm still putting some honey. I'm still putting some lemon. I'm still putting things on you, and I wanted to get inside of you. So when I do put you inside the smoker, when I do give you the opportunity to experience this, not only will you look good, not only will your life look good, but inside your life will taste good. But if I just put salt and pepper on top of the meat and throw it in the microwave, yeah, it will look good. But then when you bite into that meat, it's tough to bite into. And it's nasty. It has no flavor. And God is saying, you are the salt of the earth. You are the seasoning of the earth. But I need you to give me time to make you that. And if you give me enough time, I'll take you from 40 hours a week to 35 hours a week, to 30 hours a week, to 25 hours a week, to 20 hours a week, to 0 hours a week. I hope you get what I'm saying. I hope today's show blessed you. If it did, can you do me a favor? Hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button. It's your boy, Anthony ONeal, and I'll see you in the next show. Peace out.